Shocking and crazy developments here for Attack on Titan. The series author Isayama has written a new ending. Basically, he wrote like, I believe it's like a new 11-page final chapter because fans were so disappointed with the ending of Attack on Titan. Now, we do have some bullet points for what happens in this chapter, and it is completely nuts. But first, I want to talk about a couple words from Isayama himself. He says, after 11 years of work, with the last chapter, I thought I was making everyone happy, but I was too confident. I'm sorry to those who are disappointed in me, but have been supporting me until the very end. So here's the thing, Isayama, you can't make everyone happy. Like, no matter what the series is, no matter how you end it, there's always going to be people complaining. But I feel really bad for this guy because you're talking about 11 years of his life that he's been working on this series. It took over the world. Everyone loved it. I mean, that's got to fulfill your heart so much. And then to get to the ending and have so many people just berating you and calling you names and calling you trash and calling the whole series trash, it's just really, really sad. He's given us such a unique story with a lot of action, great characters, development, I mean the whole shebang. So much backstory in this entire series. Of course, there's going to be fans who just aren't happy. I mean, what irritates me even more so is just the amount of like outrage culture that like just shot at him for the way he ended the series. You know, similar to Game of Thrones, right? Like, no, everybody was disappointed with Game of Thrones ending, and there was so much buildup and hype towards this whole series, and you get to the end, and of course, you're not going to make everyone happy. But the thing is, Isayama, you built this series in your vision. Everything you wrote and built up to this point is what made it so popular. So whatever way you decided that you wanted to end it, you should be happy with it, because there's always going to be a large group of very vocal people who are gonna be mad at you for the way that you ended your series. That's just when One Piece ends, I guarantee you there's gonna be millions of people who are very disappointed that it ended, right? And the way that it ended. Isayama realized that the climax was a very difficult theme for him to draw, so he regretted not being able to express it properly in the manga. He thought that he would please everyone with a final chapter, so he is sorry to those who he disappointed, yet thanks them for the support. Again, Isayama, you don't have to apologize, man. Like, I really enjoyed the way that you ended it. Yeah, there was some loose ends that maybe weren't tied up, but that always is gonna come with writing such a complicated and in-depth story. This isn't just kaijus eating people. There's so many characters and storylines intertwining. Things like that are gonna happen when you have such a complicated story. Personally, I was very satisfied with the ending. I would have liked to have seen Eren win and accomplish, you know, basically total domination over the world or whatever, but as we found out in the final chapter, major spoiler alert, that he was basically just a martyr. Like, he was basically sacrificing himself and 80% of humanity to end the Titans for good. And I mean, okay, Isayama, like, if that's how you want to end it, like, there's various ways that he could have ended this story. This is the one that he wanted. He's the author, it's his story, and to be honest, I mean, that doesn't mean it's unjustified being able to criticize it or anything, but I thought the way that he ended it, like, I thought it was okay. So, fans were so disappointed that he writes another new final chapter, and here's where we get into, like, I mean, this is crazy. And then fans are outraged about this new ending now. So let's get into this. Okay, so what happens is, in the very beginning, there is a time skip, and Mikasa has a bunch of children. It appears that her husband is Jean, or John, or however you want to pronounce it, and they're going to Eren's grave, right? So the story, again, kind of ends with Mikasa trying to contribute more to the point that the driving factor that she was like one of the real central characters of this show, and the fact that she married and had kids with Jean, of all people. I know fans are gonna have a lot to say about that, right? Like, she could have had her pick, you know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the... Now, during the final chapter, we saw that Paradise Island was building an army because they thought there was going to be mass retaliation, since basically Eren just reaffirmed everyone's suspicions or concerns that the Eldians were like evil devils, right? And because of what Eren tried to do and how many people he wiped out with the rumbling and everything, the Eldians were preparing for like the whole world to come drop the hammer down on them. And so, what this new chapter is saying is that they went to war, even though in that final chapter it was like, you know, they were building an army, but they weren't sure if war was going to come. So the war came, it wasn't drawn or anything, but the war came, and Paradise Island was destroyed. And not only that, the power of the Titans hasn't disappeared. Okay, so does this mean that there's going to be a sequel to Attack on Titan? Very, very possibly. And primarily, like, if Isayama went this far to write a new chapter because fans weren't satisfied, he left it open with this brand new bonus chapter to say that, you know, if you guys aren't satisfied, I can always write a new story. Now, there's some major problems with this. Primarily the simple fact that this makes the entire Attack on Titan that as we know it, completely obsolete, like completely pointless. Like, the whole 4 seasons, all the chapters of Attack on Titan were basically coming to this culmination of Eren playing everybody and sacrificing himself to end the Titans forever and give peace to humanity. And basically with this new chapter, he's saying it didn't work. So it was like, what is the entire point of all of Attack on Titan besides give us this just one giant backstory, just one giant legend of Eren, the character, and what he did, which basically did absolutely nothing but wipe out 80% of humanity in trying to eliminate the Titans, which failed. So I'm sure that he could figure out some ways to, like, make it interesting, but I mean, I felt that the way that he tied up the loose ends in the original ending was kind of like a more fitting end to this magnificent series, right? Because, like, Eren accomplished what he was secretly trying to do the entire time. And now Isayama's like, well, I guess you guys didn't like that, so let me do it the other way. Eren fails and, you know, the Titans are still alive. And people are still pissed off, right? Like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's why I don't think that he should have listened to the criticism and written this brand new bonus ending, because no matter what, people are gonna be pissed off, right? Like, every fan's gonna have their own opinions of, like, how their beloved series should end, and the way you end it, there's gonna be a large group of people who are gonna be upset. You just have to disregard that, man. Like, you did a phenomenal job. So now he's saying that the power of Titans has not disappeared. This means very, very possibly we could get a sequel series. It could take place here in the future. Now that you have Mikasa and Jean are their parents now. There's kids. How is that going to happen? Like, is it going to be the new story of their kids growing up?
Maybe you should just try and give it another season.
I don't think I can do that, sir. The show's already perfectly wrapped up. All the questions have been answered, and I can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been perfectly wrapped up, but just give the main character a kid. So,
but who'd the kid fight? The main villain's already been beat.
I swear, RDC World, they just they get this stuff down perfectly. They find all the little, like, nuances of anime and just expose them to the highest degree, right? I think this is hugely possible. We could get a sequel series. I'm pretty sure he's tired of writing the series, though. I'm pretty sure I read an interview somewhere where he's like, it was weighing down on him. He kind of like rushed to the ending because he was so done. I mean, 11.5 years of work drawing and writing this story. It's got to take a toll on you, and I'm sure he wants a break. So maybe in a couple years from now, if he gets the inspiration, if he gets bored from being retired or whatever, you could very well see an Attack on Titan 2. I mean, and this one would take place in the future. There'd be the time skip with Mikasa being older. I doubt Levi would come into play because he's a gimp now. I mean, he's just burned to a crisp and wrecked and everything, and I believe he was in a wheelchair, so, you know, is it going to take place? Is it going to, like, show the aftermath? Like, who's in control of the Titan power now? We're going to find out. This chapter will come out, I guess, in a few days. These are just, like, spoilers at this point, but it's pretty much been confirmed. I don't think 100%, but, like, a lot of sources have confirmed it at this point, that this is actually what happens in this bonus chapter, which is, it's just crazy to me, because, like, he took his ending and he's just like, nope, you know, he just, like, threw out, like, 11 years of work, essentially, to basically say that, like, none of it mattered, right? Like, what was the point, you know? But yeah, we'll get more information when that final chapter is released. You know, this was only like 3 lines and a couple interview points from Isayama himself, so hopefully that'll make a little bit more sense when the chapter actually comes out. But, you know, with the information that we have right now, I don't think he should have written the bonus chapter and just changed everything. Like, I like how he kind of left it open to be interpreted at the end of the original ending. How you didn't know if they were going to war and everything, and how Armin and everybody was, like, coming to meet with the Elydians and try and, like, make peace. So, we'll see what happens, man, when this thing comes out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm really curious. Do you guys prefer this ending? Do you want a sequel? Do you think that he should have just closed the book? Do you think he opened up a can of worms by doing this? I think personally he did. I'm not sure how much it matters if he's not going to do a sequel. Like, I don't think it really tarnishes Attack on Titan that much. Like, I would still totally recommend my friends to like go watch and read Attack on Titan. Like, it's that good. But I personally think he should have just closed the book, and it seems like he just opened right back up. He was like, oh, you guys weren't happy with that? Okay. You know, let's make it so that the Titan powers aren't gone, and who knows, I can keep writing whenever I want to if I decide if I want to. All right, man. Well, we'll see what happens with that one. I'm Aster. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps boost my channel with the YouTube algorithm, and I'll talk to you soon for another video. Peace.